that are bone. Show them it, Dad. Show them up. You see that? On today's episode of the Jamaican Cooking Journey, I'm going to be sharing with you a little pot roast recipe. But I just want to say special thanks to all the people coming on to our pages and supporting us. And also I want to send a shout out to my patrons. If you'd like to be a part of my Patreon family, click on the link in the description. Show some love over on Patreon. Our post notification shout out today, they go right up there. So we're going to be doing a little piece of pot roast today. Not a big piece. This is about 3.5 pounds, and there is a bone. I wanted a piece of chuck roast, but this is a piece of shoulder. I just couldn't get that from a butcher, so I've already rinsed this with just a little baking soda on it. I have not really use like put my beef soak in a vinegar and them something and scrub it with lemon. I don't do that to beef. Beef is, for me, beef is not the type of meat that really need that. Okay, beef is a sort of different. Every meat have its own nature. Deal with it different. That's just for me. So I've done that already. But what I want to show you, I have a big nice piece of bone in here, so. But I want to show you that it has some fat and it also has some flab. Now I will be taking off some of these, but not all. I want to show you because this is why I was looking for the chuck roast. I have the holy part, but I just could not get it because that depends on the animal, you see. So I'll be taking off like these, you see this. And back then I want to share something with you. When we were in the country back then as little kids, when we get meat like this and with these parts on it, our parents would put it in the sun to dry, and that would cure it, and they would keep it to grease the face of the self-heater iron. Me call them putter, you know those metal irons. That's what they would do. They never make nothing weeks. Okay, so I'm taking off that, and because I want to leave some of this, I'm taking off this piece also. Yeah, and remember that when you're dealing with meat, raw meat, you must try to rinse your hands as often as possible. This is connected to this, and I'm not going to be taking off anything else. So I've already rinsed it, but I can give it another little rinse. So I'm going to get it rinsed and get it pat dry. Okay. So I want to get it all properly dry, and I'm looking, maybe I can take back maybe a few little more pieces off it. Just a few more little pieces. I mostly want the fat to stay. I don't want the flab. I call them flab. I don't know where are the correct name. These are the pieces I want to come off. Like these pieces, I don't want them on there, so. I want this to stay on it because it will keep moisture into the meat. Yeah. And I realize that even though there is a bone, I have got to give it a tie. Some want to dry it properly. Yeah. So I'm gonna put a few slots in there, probably about 5. Just from this end, because there's this bone. I didn't even realize this bone was so big. This wasn't what I wanted, but this is what I get. So when I get what I want, hopefully I can to show you, and I'll show you, like, you know, the difference of what. But I'm just gonna work with this. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be using this. This can be added on the Amazon storefront as well. And I am gonna be needing some aid from Dad too. I'm just gonna give it one tie across, but I think I'll be needing help to all the meat steer. I really wanted to show you, but I'll show you when I have another piece. So. Okay, so this wasn't really trussing. I wanted was to just tie this little piece there. I didn't want it to come off because I know as it cooks, I want it to stay on it. So what I'm gonna do at this point, I'm gonna be, this is some black pepper and salt, and I'll be rubbing it onto it. So I've pat it, not fully dry. And then it helps to hold the meat in place too. Yeah. But when I get the right piece of meat, I'll show you how to truss. Truss means T-R-U-S-S. It means to tie your meat to that it has just this togetherness, that especially for roast, you know, when it cooks you have it stay together, because as it cooks it diminishes and then, you know, it starts fall apart. You want it to hold the shape in there, but this has a pretty good shape. The bone held this in, it holds this in place, but this piece here was just, you know, just on its own. I'm using a piece of parchment right here. A parchment, no, piece of, yeah, look like some never full parchment. So I'm doing this, and I'm gonna get my garlic, and I'm gonna come and I'll stuck it in these little slots that I made earlier, and so show you. So I've smashed my garlic, and I'm gonna be putting some down into these slots that I made. I don't let it come through. I made the slots, but it doesn't come all the way through to the bottom. Okay, I make it go down because the meat is kind of a little thickish, so I made it that it go right down in there. I've smashed them. I like to smash them, so wherever I did make the indents or the inserts or whatever it is, I'm putting some smashed garlic in there. So this is the final of my garlic. Stuffing it down in there. And I'm going to wrap this. This could be done overnight. I'm going to wrap this in a piece of plastic wrap, and I'm going to leave it about 45 minutes. But overnight would be so much better. Okay, I'll catch you in the next clip when I'll be prepping some of these. I have carrots, celery, and the potatoes. So here we go. Yeah, wasn't the piece of roast that I expected, but I'm gonna make it work. Okay, next clip. Okay, so I'm back, and this smells so nice, you know. So this is it here. I have a little bit of a vegetable oil. You can use olive oil or whatever oil you want to use. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be searing the meat off from top to bottom to the side. Okay, so, and this, you know, this is just like something that is timely, you know. So we're going to let it stay here until it is ready to turn, until it acquires that nice pretty brown sear, you know. On that side, and we turn to the little side, and then the other side. That's what we are looking for at this point. So it is something that takes a little time, maybe at 12 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes overall. So next clip. So you see, this is the sear you want to have. You don't want to get it burned. You see all those nices in there? You don't want to get it burned too much. So I'm doing this side, and then I'm going to do these other sides to the sides. I've already done the back piece to this. So we are doing it in a timely manner. You don't want to get down in the pot to burn up, because you want that nice fun, that nice flavoring. That is the juices from the meat. Yeah, that is, as we brown it, the juices are released. You hear it coming out, and we want that to stay in there to continue to flavor up the meat as it, you know, roast and all of that. So when you see me next, it will be done, and we're going to be moving to the next step. Do it on the medium, not too high. Okay, fam? So this is our meat, and we sear it from side to side. You don't want it burning, just nice, pretty sear. Just to start to maintain the color at all times in there. So what I have here some thyme, some celery, lots of it. Thyme, celery, garlic, and some onions. Right now I'm going to be putting in probably about a little more, about a cup of all of these stuff together. So we're going to put this in there. And we're going to be like cooking it off. We're going to get them all softened, get out the flavors. We're going to get the flame up now, because we want these to, you know, start to cook off and start build some flavor down in it. You see that nice fond in there? Yeah, we want to pick it up. Get up on high, and you want to start doing this as you go along. Cook it off a little. The celery. The onion is going to provide some nice, you know, soft thing, and the thyme and the celery and the garlic, that is going to do more than what it's supposed to do. So we're going to cook it off like that right now. Take up all of that in there. Yeah. At this point, I'm going to be adding some of my red cooking wine. You can put another wine, any drinking wine, red wine. You can put some of that, you know, them rich, nice, dark red color beef stock. Yeah, we're going to do some of them for you. But you'll have to follow us on the Jamaican Debbie Deb Strain to show how you make that. Some of this beef stock would be good. I don't put chicken stock in beef, and I don't put beef in chicken stock. But if you want to put chicken stock, go ahead. I'm putting some wine right now on my eat. Putting about a half a cup in there. Yeah. I'm going to leave it. That is less than half a cup though. That is like quarter of a cup. So I'm going to leave it to cook down and let all of these break away and all of that. I think I might just put a little bit of salt and some of my black pepper that I have left. I might just put that all in there. Okay. Also, I'll be putting a little of this pickle, not much, and I'll be taking up 2 of these peppers. I won't break them, or I won't burst them rather. And we're going to cover, and I'll catch you in the next clip. Okay, right there. So this is it. So everybody break down. Okay. At this point, what I like to do, this is some burnt sugar, and I'm gonna put a little in it to give me a more vibrant color. Turn my flame up now. Yeah, we're gonna put our roast on top of this. I could probably put just a little more. You see how it transformed this? Yeah. You see this? So this is what your roast is gonna sit in. Okay? This is the color that it's of the gravy or something like where it was sitting. Now I'm gonna turn my stove now down to my flame down to the lowest. Now I am going to be putting, that is why it is important to sear it first. I'm gonna put it on top of this right here, and the little juice what was okay. So on that low heat I'm gonna cover, and every 30 minutes you're gonna be coming around. This here is a cast iron enamel. It produces a lot of steam. It is going to stay in there on the lowest for about 2 to 2.5 hours, depending on your texture, how soft you want it, how pull you want it, how firm you want it. But I would say 2 to 2.5 hours it might take, depending on your meat cut too. It may be more tender. This is not so hard, so mine might go probably about 1 hour and 3/4, or maybe 2. Maybe if your meat is hard, it might go 3 hours. So you want to come every now and then, and you take up a little of this and you put it on there, because it's going to be making a lot of steam in there. So every half an hour you want to come and you want to turn it around, and once you cover it, it is going to make enough steam. It should. But if you're not using a cast iron, then you're going to need some hot water. So each time you come to turn it over, you put a little water, and don't let it dry out, because we're going to need the rest of that to make some real good gravy. So I'll catch you in the next clip. So this is my first 30 minutes, fam, and I have just turned it. And you don't want the liquid coming up more than about probably half. You don't want it covering it. And you see, I have not put any more water, anything, and you see we still have it in there. So every 30 minutes you come, you may want something a little better than this, a little bigger, but it is cooking. And if you know anything about, you will see it's cooking. You see that you're seeing the bone, but it's just like 30 minutes outside of 2.5 hours. And at some point, if you want to turn it to the side, you turn it onto the side to let it get the color. You won't see this again until it's properly cooked. Okay, okay. This was like 2 hours, and you can see that our bone. Show them it, Dad. Show them up. You see that? Yeah. So we're gonna put it right here now, and we're gonna let it rest. It's always best to let your roast rest. We're gonna turn our flame off because everything that we have in there, we're gonna need it to make our gravy. So you see what we have in there? Look at what we have in there. So we're gonna leave it to cool. Gonna go now prepare some carrots and some potatoes whilst this is cooling down. I'll catch you in the next clip. We're gonna strain. You see how rich this gravy is? We're gonna strain it right off because we don't want them stuff there in it. We literally don't want them. So we're gonna, take out all the juices. We're gonna rub out everything out of it. This is some older type pot roast. You see, that's how our older people would do it. The older folks back in the days. Yeah, there's so many ways of doing pot roast. So many ways. So when you rub it all out now, you get all this cooked vegetable, and you make sure you get all of it all rubbed out. Yeah, that is how some of our older people used to do it. Right there, you rub it until you can get everything out of it. You see me like a garlic? Yeah, this is the real deal. So I'll catch you in the next clip. So you see, you rub it out, and what you get under here, you scrape it off, and you use it as a thickener for your gravy. Okay? Yeah. So we're gonna put it back in our container. You see how rich this thing is? And you wanna get a little hot water. Yep. Get your flame back on. Yeah. Medium. Yeah, so if you want to put some extra in there now, you can go ahead. Anything you want nice it up with, we're going to leave it to come to a boil. And also, I'm going to taste it, okay, because it's still on the thinner side. So I'm going to taste it. Wow, this is good, really good. Some people would make a cornstarch slurry. You could put a little breadcrumbs if you want me to cornstarch slurry. But I'm just going to be putting the potatoes and the carrots in and let them cook. And as it starts cooking, I'll just give it some stir. Because the potatoes, as they break down, they will give it some extra body. Whilst we let this rest, we are going to remove the strings in the next clip. So we got our veggies. Just potato, and you can put other else. Turnip would be nice in here too. I'm just putting some extra garlic. I like my thing garlicky. You know, I know that already. And I have good taste. I'm just gonna let it cook and just cook until the veggies, the carrots and the potatoes have all been softened, and then I should have some good consistency of the gravy. So whilst that is happening, we are going to turn our attention in the next clip to be looking at our roast and slicing. Remember to do this on the medium as you do everything. Okay, next clip. Remember to remove your strings, okay? It's the first thing you must remember to do. Remove your strings. Okay, now we have sliced our meat from our bone, and this was this piece of bone that we had in there. This can also be put in left for making beef stock. Yeah, okay, see right here, it has some of that collagen, yeah, in there. So let us look at a gravy pot now. You see that simmering, and I think our gravy is ready. I'll show you. These are our veggies. So look at that. Slow does it every single time, family. Slow. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna get my plate right up to here. I'm gonna remove these veggies, or whatever you wanna call them. Yeah, put it right there. So these are my thing, and I'm gonna show you my gravy. I'm just gonna spoon my gravy right on. You see the richness of the gravy. I didn't use any cornstarch. I don't like to. I just like to cook my potatoes until they start break down, and they will give me that beautiful consistency. And you see that we really did those seasonings, those herbs, what we did. Look at that. And you just spoon it right on over. I don't know, some always have shot, and when it comes to the gravy, this is just what we got. This roast shoulder. It's a roast beef, of shoulder of the beef. I'm gonna clean up and come back. There you have it, family. From my kitchen to yours, from my Jamaican kitchen to your family table, to your plate, and most of all to your stomach. It is beef shoulder roast. It is the shoulder of the beef, and we did it that way. Thanks for loving, thanks for supporting. I can't wait to end this video. I'm gonna make me a humongous roast beef sandwich. You have it with what you want. Tell me how it come out when you do it. Yeah. And the next time I'll be trying to get that piece of chop with all that marbling in there, then you're gonna see the difference. I'm gonna be doing quite a few different parts of the beef and show you that different parts bring different solutions, different finishing and all of that.